I am Bhaskar Mhatre, Secretary, Navi Mumbai Cooperative Housing Federation. We are getting a lot of query with regard to transfer of development rights in DA and transfer of conveyance. We have invited Advocate Shreeprasad Parab to discuss about the transfer of development rights in DA and conveyance.
धन्यवाद म्हात्रे सर. So today we will discuss the difference between transfer of development rights in development agreement vis-a-vis transfer of ownership in conveyance agreement. First of all, let's discuss what is development agreement. So development agreement in case of redevelopment or development of the property is executed between two parties. First is the landlord and second is the developer. The landlord may be a cooperative housing society, an apartment condominium, or any legal or natural person. The developer gets the development rights from the landowner in case of development agreement, So with this right, he can enter into the property for development of that particular property. In lieu of this, a consideration is parted from the developer to the landowner, which will be in terms of corpus, rent, compensation, and area. With this, the developer is also entitled for saleable component. That is, he can also create third-party interest in that particular property, and with this, he can develop the entire property. So this is with regards to the development agreement. In case of conveyance agreement, conveyance contract, it is a transfer, that is inter-vivos transfer of ownership from one person to another. So what is conveyance contract? It is an absolute transfer of ownership along with all the rights of that particular property. We call it as right, title, interest in that particular property. So to bring out the differences between the development agreement and the conveyance contract, the first point with regards to the transfer of title or interest, in development agreement, the transfer of development rights take place from the landowner to the developer, provided the ownership is still there with the landowner. But in case of conveyance contract, the transfer of title, that is right, title, interest, that is transfer of ownership take place from the owner, that is seller, to the buyer. So this is the difference about the ownership. The second difference about the control and possession of the property. Now with regards to the possession in case of development agreement, the developer has a possession only to develop the property. Whereas in case of a conveyance contract, the possession is absolute. Absolute in the sense the buyer enters into the shoes of the seller as and when the conveyance document is executed and registered. He gets the complete absolute possession. The third distinction is about revocability. Whether development agreement can be terminated, the answer is yes. There are n number of judgments from Honorable High Courts and Honorable Supreme Court with regards to the termination of development contract when the terms of the development agreement are breached by any of the parties. So the development agreement can be terminated, whereas the conveyance contract is irrevocable in terms of termination when it is executed and registered. So once the conveyance contract is executed and registered, it cannot be terminated. So these are the differences between the development agreement and the conveyance contract. In case of self-redevelopment, there is no such transfer of development rights. So in self-redevelopment, the society apartment appoints a contractor and makes a contractor agreement between the two parties, whereas the contractor is entitled for the possession of that particular property only for construction purpose, and in lieu of which, with regards to the construction activities, he gets a consideration amount from the cooperative housing society or the apartment. So there is no transfer of development rights in case of self-redevelopment contractual document. So we have studied the differences between the development agreement and the conveyance contract. Many of the members have raised queries that whether the development agreement, whether executing the development agreement is as good as transfer of ownership. The answer is no. We have clarified the questions, clarified the queries with regards to the development agreement and in particular the conveyance contract. We have also taken the topic of self-redevelopment contractual contracts. And with this, we conclude our today's topic. With more such information, more such legal topics and cooperative law topics, we are duty bound to come before you and give information whatever is possible, whatever is best possible from us. Thank you. Dhanyawad.